Y dale, dale, los Peñaroles, y dale, dale, de corazón, porque esta barra tan bullanguera, con toda el alma, se viene hoy al estadio.
Welcome to Book Time with Ryan. I am Ryan, and today we'll be talking about an artist. This is my first artist spotlight, continuing on the theme of spotlights. Earlier I had done an author spotlight, and these spotlights are really allowing me to highlight the artists and authors of comics. It's not going to be exclusively those areas, but I feel like that's part of my interest that has not been as prevalent on this channel as I'd like it to be. So these spotlights will give me an opportunity to provide more light on some of my favorite authors and some of my favorite artists in the comic community. Today, we'll be talking about Matías Bergara and why do I like his work. We'll see some of his work and some of the work he's currently doing too. But how did I come to know Matías? I'm a Peñarol fan. Peñarol, VAMO PEñarol. Club Atlético Peñarol is the most successful, famous, best club in Uruguay. The greatest soccer team in Uruguay's history and one of the greatest in all of South America and the world. So I love Peñarol. It's the team that my wife's family liked growing up. And when we started dating, I took them on, and I've seen a couple games of theirs live in person. Nicest fans, great team, great players, just really approachable, and I've loved it. So I love Peñarol. Through that, I became aware of Matías, who is also a Peñarol fan. And Matías, I didn't realize at the time, was and is an artist and a comic book artist. An artist in general, but a comic book artist specifically, where my interests kind of overlapped. And I asked him, like, is there anything I know that you've done? And he said CODA, which I immediately went out and ordered. And I had not realized that CODA is actually an Eisner nominee. It's great. Now, the cool thing about CODA is, I have the first issue of CODA, but this is volume 1 of the trade. Do you see anything familiar here? See what I'm wearing? My Peñarol jersey? Check out the main character. He's also wearing a Peñarol jersey. An older form of the Peñarol jersey, but a Peñarol jersey. When I found that out, I was so excited. I mean, I've read all the comic books, but just knowing that little background into the main character of CODA was very cool. And he wears it throughout. This is not just a cover illustration. He's wearing the Peñarol jersey throughout the comics, which is just too cool. So that was our first connection. This is volume 1. I also got volume 2. I didn't realize, but this one's shiny. This one's matte finish and this one's glossy finish. I didn't realize that. And volume 3. This is how far it's gone. As you can see, it's an Eisner nominee. And our main character is still wearing, you can't really tell it in that picture, but he's still wearing the same stuff. Loved it. The art in here, let me just pull one of these out just so you can see. I mean, the cover lets you know what kind of art it is. It's very like fantasy based. This is issue 1 cover. Some other covers. That's his best friend, his horse, kind of special mutant horse. And this gives you an idea of just what kind of, this is a giant, just what kind of art is being done here. It's so cool and just a real treat. The colors are awesome. The art's so detailed, but it's not detailed in a way that's distracting. And there's so many colors and there's so much action in the art that it's just such a fun series, and I hope they do more CODA. Please do more CODA. So I got into his stuff by reading CODA and enjoying the art. CODA was done by Boom, and he also worked on Cannibal, which is an Image comic. And Cannibal is about, there's some violence here. I'll try to skip the violence, but you can kind of see different art. It's not like fantasy art now. This is about cannibals in the South, and it's fairly violent. So I like this too, but it's a very different feel. Muted colors, less action in the art, but when there is action, it's fairly violent. But I don't know if it's considered more subdued, but I mean, you can get a feeling for just the covers too, right? There's less color on this, there's less action, but it's still so detailed. There's two volumes of this. So volume 1 and volume 2, I have both. I read them, I really like them. Between the two, CODA was, I think, between the two, I like both of them, but CODA was really special for me, not just because of the jersey, but just the story in general. And unlike a lot of comics I read, I got these all at once, so I was able to read them straight through, which was very helpful in following the story. But check them out. They are Eisner Award nominees. I think I had already bought these before they got nominated, except for the third one. That's when they had the nomination. And loved it. But that's not all he's doing. Oh, he also worked on Supergirl, but I don't have a copy of that. But what they're working on now is very cool. Right now, Matías is working on Step by Bloody Step. It's an Image comic, and there are no words. It is pure art. I don't even know how that works. And I've said this before, but when I do comics, I buy the trades, so I haven't read it yet. But it's gotten so many great reviews, and people have so much great stuff to say about it, that I'm really looking forward to when it's available on trade. And I want to send it to Matías so he can sign it, and then he can send it back to me. So Matías, I do want you to sign Step by Bloody Step, the trade. It's pure art. There are no words. That's what I've been told. That's what I've seen so far. And I have no idea how that works, because Simon Spurrier is also associated with this. He also worked on CODA. And if there are no words, what does the author do besides tell the artist what he's envisioning? And what's that even look like? I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is that people have had a lot of great things to say about Step by Bloody Step, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and read it too. Because I don't know what it's about, which is the best way of entering any kind of reading, is not knowing anything and just, discovering it along the way. So that is the highlight today. That is the spotlight today. Matías Bergara. I can read his... Matías Bergara was born and still lives in the curious little country of Uruguay. I like Uruguay. He's been illustrating comics, book covers, and video game art ever since leaving a college career in literature. Most of his published work was created for Latin America and Europe, so he's a recent arrival in U.S. titles, such as Sons of Anarchy by Boom and Cannibal Image. And in 2019, he was nominated for the Eisner Award for Best Penciler Inker for his work on CODA. So 2019, I don't even remember when I bought these. They couldn't have been that far after 2019. Actually, maybe 2019. It's hard to know what's going on with time these days. Here's some other great. Just look at the colors, look at the art. Just look how much action's there. I love it. CODA was great. I could reread CODA, and I may reread CODA. But check it out. So, CODA, including my boy and his Peñarol jersey. Cannibal. Supergirl, although I don't have it. And Step by Bloody Step is the newest thing. Check out Matías' work. It's awesome. Go Peñarol, VAMO PEñarol. Thanks for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this. It's a little bit shorter, but really the artist spotlight is going to have to involve you going out and viewing the art, because I think that's where you really benefit from the experience. Seeing the actual work, not just hearing a summary of the art, which I can't do it justice. So check it out, and if you have the opportunity, go check out Step by Bloody Step issues and see what's going on that, see what people are talking about, because I am so tempted to go out and do that. But I also know that I'm going to want to have it in one big collection. So thanks a lot. Bye.
Íbamos muertos, buscando explicaciones en el suelo, sin levante. Entonces sucedió, desde abajo, pesada, lastimada, surgió la voz aquella arrojada como una lanza al corazón de la lógica para redefinir a la palabra hazaña. Surgió tronando firme, convencida, rabiosa, esperanzada y única, retumbando en la escalera de la Ámsterdam como el relámpago que anuncia la llegada de un dios. ¡Peñarol, carajo!